I've got the catalogue. I'm surrounded by nearly 150 lots. This is the classic sale by Iconic Auctioneers here at Bicester Motion as part of the Wheeler Dealer live show. If you're watching this video on the day it lands, the Saturday, that is free viewing day from I think 12 midday, and the main sale takes place on the main day of the show, the Wheeler Dealer live show, this coming Sunday. I've got a whip round. I've made some notes in my catalogue. Oh, and also it's not just cars which are going under the hammer. There's also going to be a huge charity auction in support of the fire, the tragic fire which took place just over there in the hangar. I'm Jonny Smith. This is The Late Break Show. Okay, before we dive in, just to remind you that you don't actually have to be in person here to bid. You can register online and you can watch the whole event being live streamed, the whole sale, if you want to. Go to iconicauctioneers.com. Right, oh, and follow us on TikTok and things like that, because we often publish the sold values of the cars after the sale, and people seem to be really fascinated with that. Right, the first car I must talk about is the one I climbed out of. This is a Mazda Autozam AZ1. This is the king of K cars, K being small dimensions for Japanese city use and 660cc engine, usually a triple cylinder and turbo. But this is like the most crazy one. This is actually owned by Chiro, the guy that's set up this entire show, the Wheeler Dealer live event. He's selling this and a tractor over there, which we'll come to. So midship, double overhead cam engine that lives here, right? Gull wing doors, and this is a Mazda Speed edition apparently, which has extras on it. So if you like K cars like I do, and my podcast partner Rich Porter has got a Honda Beat, that's another K car. This has different lights, different bumpers being Mazda Speed. I believe it has different suspension, and there's a couple of other little add-ons as well, but these are rare anyway. The Mazda Speed versions, I think they made less than 200 of them. The car is extremely well presented. It's not actually in the catalogue, it's a late edition, lot 130A. What I love about these is the fact that they look like lots of different other cars from many other angles, but it is a very, very, very small car. From the back, there's a bit of maybe Skyline. I think there's a bit of Ferrari as well with the strakes on here. We'll have a look in the engine bay, which we just popped down here. The other thing, being a Mazda Speed version, I think it's got a rear diffuser that's different and this spoiler. It's a very, very special car, and it really is. Chiro's done a hell of a job on this. It's been ice blasted, it's been Dinatrol rust protected. A lot of these Japanese cars, they're not rust protected, and people bring them over and they just polish the outside. They don't look after the bits you don't see, and they end up rotting to death, and that's where the value is for me. Look at this thing. The engine's so far inboard there. Electronic fuel injection. What I love about all K cars, not just the Autozam, is the fact that they're fun to drive. They don't use much fuel. They fit in a tiny garage. They fit comfortably in a single garage in the UK. And people love to see them, especially younger people. They think that they're fabulous. I think they made 4,000 Autozams in total, but the Mazda Speed version is that little bit extra special. And I really am struggling to fault this particular car. This even has a limited slip diff. Being a Mazda Speed version, there's a sticker on here which says LSD. I can't believe a car this tiny has an LSD. It's ridiculous. Now, lot 176, yes, you know it's a Mitsubishi EVO 6, but this is an EVO 6 RS. And in fact, I featured one of these in a recent Car Cave episode on the Late Break Show. The RS was the car that was sold stripped out already with the most basic things, because they knew that the people buying them were going to instantly put them into rally competition in Group N. So they had wind down windows and they had the aerial located up there. There are a number of other things. I think they had definitely no air conditioning, no active yaw control, no electric door mirrors, no central locking, no rear wiper, all of those things. So the RS is the one to have if you're serious. And this one is seriously good in terms of condition. Finished in Scotia White, seller's rating of 107 points out of 135. Like most of them, it has competition seats. It's got Corbeau buckets in it, OMP straps, and a half cage, or is it a full cage? Half cage. But it was imported in 2008, and I don't think it's ever been rallied. So it's looks like it's been prepared for rally, but not actually rallied. Sitting on the Compomotive 18s, which just look amazingly bright. This had £12,000 worth of work done to it over the last couple of years, so it really is done to a high standard. Estimate 40 to 50,000 quid. The nostalgia is just getting stronger and stronger with these and the Subarus. There's a few there, there's a nice one there, in fact. But they're also really good driver's cars. And this has got something like 500 horsepower, I believe. As standard, they were 320. So this has had a lot of engine work done. Wow. Right, lot 141. I know I'm a sucker for early Audi Quattros, and this is a B2. But this is not, you can tell from the arches, this is not a turbo. Meaning it's actually rarer than a UR Quattro turbo. It's just a Quattro. So it's 134 horsepower, same 5-cylinder engine, 2.6cc, 10 valve. But this car's in such lovely condition, and also it's 109,000 miles. But the thing that interests me is 14 to 18,000 pounds. If this was a turbo, it would be triple that. So it's not got the firepower of the turbo, but it's such a well-presented car, and I just love this shape of the Audi AT Coupe. And the fabric seats, which nearly always just dissolve into nothing, they look pretty good on this. There's driver's side bolster needs a repair, but everything else looks really good. So it is a facelifted car because it's 1985, May 85 it was registered. And it was in the same family from new up until about 2000. Then it went to his daughter, and then it went into a private collector. And the private collector has restored it, so it's been repainted to a very high standard. Seller rating of 108 out of 135 marks. Still got the 14-inch wheels, and like I say, that tweed interior with the black carpets, that hasn't changed at all. I think this is lovely. And yeah, everyone will assume that it's a turbo, but does it really matter? But also, potentially, a younger person getting into the classic scene is more likely to have insurance and be able to run and live with one of these than a turbo. Very cool thing. So lot 177, same year, 1999, as that Evo lot 176. Slightly similar money. That could go 40 to 50 grand. This is estimated 35 to 40,000. This is an Impreza Type R STI version V Limited. It's basically a two-door homologation version. We've covered them a lot in these previous auctions. They are catnip in terms of putting any pictures of these on social media, and of course that 90s nostalgia is absolutely massive. This particular car is one of 635 built exclusively for the JDM market, and it's in really good condition. 106 points out of 135. And this is the model that ProDrive used for its Group N customer cars, and was also the donor vehicle for the Group A WRC cars in 97, 98, 99 and 2000, the golden era of Subaru rallying. So the two-door cars had the rear wiper and they had a solid rear bulkhead, which meant more torsional rigidity apparently, which is obviously better for a motorsport-based car. The JDM cars also come with short ratio gearbox, electromechanical centre diff, the absence of ABS and the absence of a radio and also an aerial. They were pretty much just built to rally, but this particular version has not been rallied. In fact, it's been something of a worship has gone on. There's a 4-page invoice in the history file from 2018 where 12.5 grand was spent on a full engine rebuild, including a new block, Wiseco forged pistons, extreme clutch, lightweight flywheel, etc., and suspension, brakes and bodywork. This particular car also, this version, has slightly different pistons on the rear calipers. They're opposing apparently. I don't know why. It'll be to do with motorsport, I would have thought. And it's also had a load of other really big bills from 2021, 2022. Gosh, okay. Be interesting to see whether this car makes that 40 grand mark. As I've said before, the nostalgia is always absolutely massive on these things. And this colour, Sonic Blue, is the colour that everybody wants. with the gold wheels, but the Type R, the two-door, in this kind of condition, never been used in motorsport, makes it something of a delicious temptation. That and the white Evo, which one would you go for if you had the cash? I'm flat 4 personally. I've just got to have a boxer. Oh, and I can't walk past this, lot 134, 1997 Toyota Celica GT4. It's kind of the holy trinity in some ways of 90s rally. You've got the Evo, you've got the Scoob. The Celica was such an amazing contender, and this is a far cheaper car than those two. This car, the ST205, this one is a 97 car. It was imported in 2010 with 64,000 miles on the clock. It's now got 21,000 miles in total, which is 135 Ks, with it being a Japanese imported car. Factory fitted options, dehumidifiers, tilt and slide sunroof, twin airbags, and it's had a power upgrade to 291 brake horsepower. Of course, GT4s get the extra little intakes in the bonnet, which I do very much like. I think it's a really good looking car. This is when Japanese cars were in that real bubble mode. And this one's also been thoroughly protected underneath with Waxol, which is so crucial, as I've said before. So yeah, 15 to 20,000 pounds is the estimate on lot 134. I really, really like it. From the front, they almost look identical. And of course, these cars were on sale at the same time. That lot 110 is a 1989 Peugeot 205 GTI 1.9. And that also a 1.9 is a 309 GTI. And that's a phase 2 1992 car. Come to the back, you see the difference. The 205 obviously is the hot hatch that everyone wants these days. They're both galvanized era cars. They were actually very well made and extremely quick. Still do feel quick now. That one there, because it's the phase 1.5, I think it's got the nicer dashboard, the one that people really want. That's estimated 15 to 18 grand. But this is the one that I want. I just prefer this shape, the 309, the two-door kind of saloon, whatever you'd call it. And it's got this amazing velour interior with the black and red dashes and dots. I just think it's great. This one is a cheaper car, less desirable than the 205, estimated 12 to 15k, 128 horsepower, and it's got the later BE3 gearbox. It's black, obviously, and I can tell, not so much from this side, but from that side, there's quite a lot of orange peel on the paint, so either it needs re-machine polishing or it just hasn't had the best of paint jobs, but the price might reflect that. Seller rating 90 out of 135. There's only 50 of these left on the road in the UK apparently. I cannot believe that. And this one's only been used 2,500 miles since 2019. Now we've seen 80s hot hatches and things like Cosworths. Prices continue to surge. But I've noticed the prices of Clio Williams cars surging as well. And this particular car, this Phase 1 1993, lot 222 with an estimate of 16 to 20 grand. This is a clean example, 50,000 mile car, rebuilt by an absolutely fastidious owner just for fun, irrespective of the budget. And you can tell because they've put a pervy mirror underneath. And you can see how good, there's the engine and gearbox there. You can see how well presented this hot hatch is. It's really amazing. It really is. Despite being an amazing driver's car, I don't know whether you would drive it when it's this nice, but it's definitely what we'd call collector grade. A seller rating of 107 out of 135 points, and this is number 382 out of 390 cars that were ever sold in the UK. They still look good though, don't they? So opposite that Williams Clio, we've got another hot Renault, different generation car. This is my favourite era of Megane. This is the 2007 Megane RS 230 Renault F1 edition. 230 being the most powerful engine they put in these, 230 horsepower. But the F1 edition was to celebrate Renault's 2006 Formula One triumph, winning Constructors' title and Alonso's second Drivers' Championship in the R26 F1 car. Now this particular version has been changed in 2016 by the vendor into a track attack car, so it's had a full welded in, I think. Yes, welded in roll cage, OMP buckets, TRS harnesses. It's been done to a very high standard, but the idea was to keep the car road legal and very, very usable. The R26R, which is the most extreme iteration of this, to this day my favourite hot hatch, is now seeing 35 grand in immaculate condition. This one though, which will only appeal to people that want to use it in a motorsporty way, this is estimated at 8 to 10 grand, which is actually pretty good value. They are so enjoyable to drive, these. I really am fond of them, but I can't believe that this car next year is basically 20 years old. We're still on setup day, so cars are moving and things, and this Mustang has just been fired up to be relocated. Lot 162, 67 Mustang Fastback. It's a 289, it's not a GT, but it is a Bullitt Steve McQueen homage, which is why the horse has been taken off the front grille. And it's in green, although Highland green was Steve McQueen's car. This is actually, I believe, dark moss green metallic, although I'm colourblind, and it looks basically the same to me. I love a green car. So being a 289, it's not the 390 big block, it's the small block. Sounds right. It's an auto, not a manual, but hey, it's nice. And it's been upholstered with brown leather kind of diamond stitch. So let's have a look at the particulars of this car while it's idling nicely. 107 out of 135 rated. The odometer says 46,000 miles. Not sure if that was right, but it was imported by the vendor from Texas 19 years ago, and it was registered in 2006. So it's been in this country the best part of 20 years. It's saddle tan, that is, leather saddle tan interior. The paint finish looks really, really good, and it's got the American Racing rough cast torque thrust Ds, which is what the Bullitt car had on it. The vendor apparently built this car to a very high standard as a cruiser, not as a tyre burner, which explains why it's not a big block, it's not a manual, you haven't gone big on power, but the look is just right. Estimate 40 to 45,000, and actually yesterday I was driving my 68 Dodge Charger, having put it on a dyno for an upcoming Late Break Show episode, and Bullitt, the film that this is a homage to, is the reason why I own my 68 Charger, so I can totally understand. Now this sale was actually going to be taking place in one of the big old hangars here at Bicester Motion, but because of the tragic events that happened a couple of weeks ago with the fire, they've decided as part of this sale, the following items are going to be auctioned for charity. This is at lot 200 onwards at approximately 3 p.m, and all the money raised will go towards the chosen charities of those who have been affected by that big fire. And these prizes include a dinner for two with Mr. Wheeler Dealer himself, Mike Brewer, and his wife Michelle, and 12 months membership of the Haggerty Drivers Club, which is over there somewhere, VIP tickets to the Silverstone British Touring Car event in September, and Napa Racing hospitality, and Napa Racing UK memorabilia, including some signed t-shirts and stuff. There's loads of things they're going to be giving away, so hopefully you will bid generously for those. Now, lot 239, the Renault 4 Plein Air conversion, no doors, no roof, not a lot going on. This is rare because this was a factory conversion, and this being right-hand drive car means that not many people in the UK went for this. It's like a Mini Moke, but Renault's answer to the Mini Moke. And this car came from South Africa, where it's probably a little bit more appropriate. This car is estimated at 10 to 15 grand. It's had a repaint, not to the highest of standards, I would say. That Mustang does sound good over there. But everything else is on the button. It's had a lot of work done this year, 2025, including a skimmed cylinder head, new water pump, new ball joints, new steering gaiters, new suspension bushes. So lots. It's actually ready for the summer body ready. The Plein Air version is actually influenced the new Renault 4 option, where you can have a completely electric fold-back fabric roof. If you haven't seen my review of the new Renault 4, I'll put it in the description and I'll put it on screen now. Lot 203, I was going to walk past it, not because I don't like it, but because we've done a few other Renaults, but I can't because I've just discovered this car has got one owner. The original owner, who's now in his 80s, has finally decided to part with it. What a lovely, lovely thing. Panda white, immaculate interior, 111,000 miles, seller rating of 108 out of 135. This is a very rare opportunity. It really is. It's still got the dealer sticker in the back window here. Crossroads Garage in Abingdon, Oxfordshire. Gosh, it's a 1990 car. Yeah, first registered 26th of November 1990. So this has an estimate on it of 14 to 18 grand, but I bet my bottom dollar that this car goes for well over 25. I'd be shocked and I'd be disappointed if it doesn't. Finding an unmodified Renault 5 GT Turbo at all is hard. Finding a one-owner one, different story. Wow. Whilst this hot Sierra Sapphire Cosworth is being manoeuvred into position, I want to talk about these two Escorts, RS 1600i, RS Turbo Series 2. This car in particular, lot 135, has had the same owner from new. Amazing, amazing. It's so hard to find this sort of condition car, and I don't think it's been restored. There's plenty of information about it. It's got the original dealer plates on it, reeds of Trowbridge. I know, my mate used to live in a pub in Trowbridge. This is done, what is it done? 89,000 miles. It's got all of the paperwork. Really, really, really difficult to find. I would wager that the estimate of 18 to 22k is exceeded, because the thirst for hot Fords just keeps going up and up and up. And of course, that car was predated by this. This is a 1983 RS 1600i. This car looks immaculate as well. What's this one? Lot 164. So this is the spiritual predecessor of the RS Turbo. Like I said before, that's a Mark III, that's a Mark IV. This thing looks incredibly good condition. I've been looking around it just before we started filming, and it really looks very well presented. It's done 82,000 miles, 104 marks out of 130. So this was non-turbo, 1.6 CVH, 115 horsepower. It's a 1983 car, and the interior is bonkers good. Shark grey, crushed velour. You know, it's so well presented. It really is. And the thing is the people that collect fast Fords, they're fastidious, they're obsessive. This probably will go beyond £28,000. It's estimated 20 to 28k. Who am I to argue with that? It's certainly been beautifully well looked after, and as 80s as it comes with those decals. Now, in the same way that RS 1600i Escort predates the RS Turbos, this Ford Fiesta Super Sport from 1980, lot 121, this predates the XR2, and thus makes it a very desirable car. Hardly any of these left in the UK, which would explain why this particular car has been found abroad. It's a left-hand drive car, and it came from Spain, Santander, where they made the Fiesta. This particular car looks like it's got all of the right stuff. It's got that lovely pattern interior which looks completely original and it never wears very well. Dashboard looks uncracked, undamaged. Wow. Even got the original Ford cassette stereo, the 4-spoke wheels, the decals. So this was imported in 2018, and the vendor purchased the car 2 years ago. It's got its original service book from 1980 with lots of stamps. There's only 59 of these currently on UK roads. Wow. And because this has spent a lot of time in Spain, it doesn't say as such, but I expect it's never had any welding repair. But this thing's amazing. The reason why it's estimated at 15 to 18k is because the steering wheel's there. If the steering wheel had been on the other side, I bet you'd be looking at a 25+ grand car. Of course, this marquee with the sale is just part of the Wheeler Dealer Live event, which is taking place over there on the Sunday. The sale starts on Sunday at 11, I think. Viewing is 9 on Sunday, but you can view it all day on Saturday. This is a proper little find. This is owned by Ciro, the organiser of the show, who also owns that Autozam AZ1. And this is a really early Lamborghini tractor, 1956 DL25 Frutito, or Frutetto. And Frutetto means it's a fruit farm tractor. That means an orchard related. We've seen a lot of Porsche tractors. They're narrower tracks so they can fit down hedgerows. It is quite a petite little thing, and it's lovely. It's been completely restored for a BBC TV show in Northern Ireland called Tricked Out Tractors. And well, Ciro's actually got a couple of these, but he's decided to let go of this particular one. and it really, really is lovely. Apparently, it's one of 216 ever made, the Orchard spec. So, and the early Lamborghinis are this grey and this red, and then they change colours, I think, twice over the years. What's the estimate? 25 to 30,000 quid. Classic tractor people are nuts. They are so obsessive. The tractor market world is just so big. I'm always constantly impressed. I just wish I'd bought a Porsche Orchard tractor when they were 3 grand, 3.5 grand. Ciro brought this over from Bologna, and it still has its original beautiful little logbook. It's delightful. In 2008, Land Rover released this, a special edition. It's called the SVX. It's to mark 60 years. You can just see it on this decal, 60 years of the Land Rover. This particular car is the 90 station wagon. They only made 70 of these out of the 300 SVX models, so they're all quite rare and pretty collectible. This particular version has seen some refurbishment. One of the as standard parts which came with the SVX, I believe, is the external roll cage. I don't know if that tubular bumper was standard fitment either. And this has also had some bucket race seats with SVX stitched into it, but it is a really, really good condition car. And I did double check. It's actually had, it's been dry ice blasted underneath and been refurbished with lots of anti-corrosion, which is the absolute key for me for Defenders, because they usually rot from the inside out. And by the time you discover it, it's kind of too late. But the values of these do continue to sort of go up and down, mostly up though. 6-speed manual, 2.4 turbocharged diesel, 122 horsepower. And this one here has done 56,000 miles, 3 former keepers, and it's going to have a fresh MOT as part of the sale. Supplied with its original Land Rover service portfolio, showing 10 service stamps. It's nice. If you like your Defenders, this is quite distinctive. I remember seeing one on the road when I was on holiday a couple of years ago in Devon. Didn't know what it was at first. Saw the decals, saw the badge and this strange light cluster. It almost looks a bit rally homologation. Cool thing though, estimated 25 to 30k. There's always a massive amount of interest and there's always a massive amount of Land Rover, Range Rover material at these auctions. But for me, this is the one that my money would go on. I absolutely love the quirky proportions and the sheer utility of this basically micro machine Unimog. This is a 1971 Steyr Puch Halfinger 700 AP utility, so it's military. It carries 1, 2, 3, 4 troops, and it's tiny. It even has an air-cooled flat twin of less than 700 horsepower. But it's the real deal, you know. It's 635 kilos, 643cc motor, but it has lockable front and rear diffs, and of course it's made by Steyr Puch in Graz in Austria, which is where they make the current G-Wagen and lots of other things, and it is ex-Austrian military. When their Willys Jeeps and things like that started to get very old, this was one of the vehicles that replaced that. So it's bijou, but extremely capable. I think it's obviously been repainted and seen some refurbishment, but I've looked at the fittings and fixtures and I think it's just at the right kind of condition and at the money that they're asking, 8 to 10k. I just think it's wonderful. You'll see 100 Land Rover Series 2As before you see one of these. I've always liked the VW Corrado. I've never actually owned one, and this is the one that everyone always wanted, the Storm. This is a run-out edition VR6 car, and the Storm basically meant that it had a full leather interior amongst other things, but they only made 500. UK market only car, and I don't think this car has been restored. It seems to have worn quite nice. There's a few marks on the bodywork, but it's good. Estimate 8 to 10 grand, and it's back to back with the car that it replaced, the VW Sirocco. Right, there's plenty of cars outside as well, and I wanted to talk about this one. Ford P100 pickup, aka the Bakkie. Why is it called the Bakkie? Because this particular car is a South African spec version, which means it comes with a 3-litre V6, and also that means that it's probably got less rot on it. I've seen these coming through and they're amazing value. I mean, this car's estimated at 4 to 5 grand, which is with no reserve, which is really, really great. It's manual. It's got that lovely bench seat with the cutout for the floor shift, which I always as a kid thought looked so neat. And the bed, being a South African car, the bed is in so much better condition than if it was a UK car. You can livery it up if you wanted to use it for a business, but I just really, really like these. Current vendor's had it 4 years. Odometer reads 34,600 miles. That's not a lot. And they made these up until what year did they make these up until? 1987. And this is a 1983. But 3 litre V6 Ford pickup. Oh, it's cool, isn't it? There's quite a lot of minis here on the sale. There's a club van just here. There's an absolutely beautifully presented R53 Cooper S in a supercharged early car, which I love. They are affordable classics and they're only going to go up. And that particular one is minty with no reserve. What is it? Lot 120. And then over there, you've got a highly apt ex-wheeler dealer. I think it was Series 17, early car, Mini 850, 1965, that Mike and Elvis restored. That's over there. And then up here, we've got something small, but not a mini, but significant. I know people watch this and they go, I can't believe you walked past that, the Daimler 66. The XJR, straight 6 early XJR supercharged. That's really nice, very clean car. I was looking at the particulars of that one. And that Born Identity spec BMW 525e, really like it. And the Survivor Mondeo. It's rare, but nobody cares. I love it. A 1.8 Mondeo GLX estate from 1997. What a survivor. Find another. But this is what I wanted to show you. Probably one of the most viewed cars on screen of all time. A car that was featured on YouTube by very popular YouTuber come boxer come presenter KSI. This featured in the Sidemen's £500 car challenge and has been viewed on YouTube 33 million times. I wish I could get that many views on the Late Break Show. And this is exactly as the car finished its silly challenge. As a 500 quid Lupo, lot 101. There is no reserve on this. I have no idea what this car is worth. Obviously the video is popular, certainly to a certain demographic, but it's a 1.4 16 valve, 99 horse. I love Lupos, even ones that have got kids on board scrawled on the side. It's going to be so fascinating to see what this sells for and who is going to buy it. And that pretty much concludes my whistle-stop tour of the classic sale here at Bicester Motion for Iconic Auctioneers as part of the Wheeler Dealer live show. Remember, all the details are on the website, iconicauctioneers.com. You don't have to be here in person to bid. You can register online. You can watch the whole thing being live streamed. And that sale is on Sunday. Viewing starts at 9 AM. Sale starts at, I think, 11. But on Saturday, you can come here for free and you can look at all the cars. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already subscribed, please go and have a subscribe. And remember to follow us also on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, where we often put follow-ups to these sales with the price that the car's actually sold for.